such that you would only get New York State's electoral votes if you won the national popular vote.
Correct. Now, this can get a little dicey. It's more than a pledge, it's legislation. So it's the law of the land in New York and New Jersey and in many other states. This has never happened
So it is
before.
passed by legislative bodies and then signed into law by the governor.
Now, here's the problem. When we have that famous case of Bush versus Gore to finally put a stop to all the recount after recount after recount in Florida, the Supreme Court issued an opinion that basically said the state legislature decides how the state's electoral votes get counted. So the state legislature could decide, instead of a popular vote, instead of an election in New York, we use New York as an example, we, the legislature, will decide who gets New York's electoral votes. So theoretically, they could look to something outside the state,
like the national popular vote.
Correct, and say that's going to determine.
It's happening. I mean, they have 165 electoral votes basically who have signed on to do this in 11 states across the country.
270 wins the presidency.
270 wins, so there's 61% there. 61% of the 270 electoral votes. 4 more states have pending proposals.
Here's the constitutional problem. The whole purpose of the electoral vote was to give each state a significant say in who gets elected president. The whole purpose of the electoral vote was to allow some event within the state, the popular vote of voters or the decision of the state legislature, to decide how that state's electoral votes go. To make a factor outside the state, the national popular vote, decide this is to destroy state sovereignty. But the kicker is, the courts are not going to look at this unless and until somebody loses the presidency because of it and challenges their loss. Only then would this be what lawyers say is ripe enough for the court to review.
They say they're on track to have this a done deal by the 2020
I don't think they're going to get enough state legislatures to do it. There's enough state legislatures there to influence the election.
Well, they're saying they're making progress. They say even in red states like Oklahoma and Nebraska, it's not just the blue states. Why would the red states be wanting to do this?
That's a head scratcher. I don't know. The red states, the conservative states, are more interested in states' rights and state sovereignty. They are kissing away the last vestige of state sovereignty if they do that. And I'm shocked that Oklahoma would go for it.
Well, and the problems with doing it, as Starwalt were saying, was it'll lead to presidential candidates paying all their attention to big cities. It'll basically be an urban election of our presidents.
It will be a de facto popular vote for president, which we have never had.
Because you just need to get to the most people as possible. So you'll be in LA, you'll be in San Francisco, you'll be in New York City.
Now, here's the other kicker. Unless Congress goes along with this, any state could withdraw and change its mind even after the election if they don't like the outcome.
So we have no certainty.
Correct. That will frustrate the left.
Very interesting. Good to see you, Judge.